Hi, Bookies. I missed y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. I missed y'all, but I had to figure out some things. And what better way to start anew than a new year? Oh man, let's get into it. Y'all excuse the bumps in the roads because despite all the taxes we pay here in California, the roads still feel like Jurassic Park. So if I'm bumping up and down, just bump with me, okay? Just bump it up. Anywho, I wanted to pop on here for a good time and a long time to tap into what this whole hoopla about being in a new year is all about. Like, I am feeling so grateful to be out of 2025. 2025 was ghetto. And when I say it was ghetto, like, I was in the trenches as far as my career confidence. And I had never been in a space where, for those who are new here, don't know the story, in December of 2024, I separated from my company. I've been working in finance now 14 years. And I separated from my company in December 2024. Not really by my choice. But I can't talk about a lot of things about that because I signed something to say I can't talk about it. But anyway, mutually amicable. I left. And but ahead of schedule, if that makes sense. And it did a doozy on my confidence, on my career trajectory. I had to do a lot of soul searching. What do I want to do? Where do I want to be? All the things that come up for us when we're coming into a new year and when we're in a new year, right? Because there's all this pressure of new year, new me, new goals, start off strong, get a good start. You know, all those things. And I believe in all those things. With the caveat of now, don't overwhelm yourself. Because I feel like sometimes we're so busy being busy, jotting down goals, dreaming big, that we don't ever do the work. Hello, somebody. And so we have to remember that, yes, we have to dream big, we have to set goals, we have to be smart about things, but we also have to do the work. And so I've been doing the work since the last time I talked to y'all, and I couldn't figure out the balance of how to get on here. So y'all, excuse me, provide me grace, but I'm back. You probably will see me more times than not in this car. I'm still going to give you guys the looks. We're still going to talk about all the things, beauty and skincare, and I'm still your good sis, okay? But there are going to be times where I come here, and I'm glad we set the foundation last year. Car chats may be plentiful in this good year of 2026. So, I have challenged myself for 2026 to start what I'm calling the 75 medium. And what the 75 medium entails is, it's a rendition of 75 hard, but I don't want nothing else hard in my life. You feel me? And starting the year with intention, so setting goals, setting subset of goals, and then placing a reward to each goal. So follow me. I went ahead and I created categories that are pronounced and apparent in my life. So love, health, finances, family, relationships. If you want to put all those together with love, family, and relationships, you can, but I separated them out. Fitness and health, I said that. I said finances. Self-care, those are another big one for me. Okay, so within each of those goals, those categories, I created subset goals. So for example, under health and fitness, going to Pilates once a week has become a goal of mine because I was Pilates strong. I was going every week, sometimes 2 times a week. And then when I stopped working, I fell off. 1, because of cost, but 2, because my lifestyle and my time looked different, right? So I became like, the drop off and the pickup mom versus being the working mom who could fit in fitness into my schedule. But now I became the primary parent of like the care because I wasn't working. So that was ghetto too. So just being honest, shout out to all the stay-at-home moms. Y'all are God's angels on this here green earth because no ma'am. No, that's not my calling. No sir. So, today's of San Jose or Oakland. Hold on now. Hold on, baby child. 39. Okay. Let's get acclimated. Well, hold please. Sorry, I had got to know where I'm going, y'all, because I don't know where I'm at. Quite frankly. So yeah, so I created the subset of goals, and then I created a reward. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part, is the reward system attached to it. So if I made a goal of saving, because 75 hard to 75 days, which is about 2 months and some change. You just gonna cut me off. Cool. It's 2 months and some change. I set a savings goal of $3,000. And that's an aggressive goal for me. That's aggressive. 2 months, $3,000 savings, right? Outside of all expenditures. But that's what I want to do, because every quarter I want to save $3,000 and I want to save $12,000 for the month. Really, I want to save 20, but we're going to start with 12. We're going to save 12, we're going to shoot for 20. So, at the end of the 75 medium, if I have the $3,000 in my savings account, then I will create a reward. Then I've already created a reward for myself. And I believe the reward for myself that I created was a luxury staycation. Spend money. Save money, then spend money. You know, hey, that's how my reward system goes. The rewards that you come up with could be big or small. They could be tangible. They could be experiences. They could be, you know, a hike somewhere you wanted to hike for a long time but never made time to do that. It could be a spa day. It could be buying your new favorite book. It could be, for example, I have one goal where I only want to spend on outside food and groceries what I have in my Apple Pay. So at the beginning of every month, I'm going to move an amount. I've already done it for January. Move an amount to my Apple Pay. I started with $500 to see if that was applicable, if that was doable. $500 a month to my Apple Pay, and that is my money for the month for groceries and for, like, you know, the kids want a little Mickey D's. I want a Starbucks, what have you, what have you. And then my treat for that is like a cute tumbler. I don't know. They don't really go together. It's not like theme for theme, but it made sense when I wrote it down. Okay? So just to give you guys an idea of shooting for something, right? Do something that stretches you, but it's not going to be like, if I didn't work out twice today, I'm failing. And that's what 75 Hard was giving. And I'm not about that energy. I also will pop up, and this will be the only editing of this video, because that's another thing that's happening in 2026. I'm coming to you raw and uncut. Okay? I will pop up my actual reward system on the screen. I have altered it just a bit since the initial inception of it. And it's really just the rewards that I have changed. That part doesn't really matter, because the goal is still the goal. None of the goals have changed. Just the rewards have altered just a bit, because I've seen things that I want, or, you know, whatever. And they may change again after you see it. But nonetheless, a reward is attached to each goal. Okay? So that's 75 mediums. That's how I'm thinking about the year. Another part of that is breaking down my greater goals, right? So I told you for the year, my goal is to save $12,000, $20,000. But for this 75 hard, 75 medium, it's just $3,000. So I've broken it up, if you want to think about it, like in quarters. Bite-sized pieces of the overarching goal, to me, are more digestible than saying, girl, you got to save $20,000 this year, 20 racks. That feels heavy. That feels like that's not going to happen. But when I say, okay, boo, in the next 3 months, you got to save $1,000 a month. So what I've done, further breaking that down, is I got paid at the beginning of January. Immediately, my 10% went over. Okay? My $200. $234.18 went over. Boom. Okay? When I get paid next, boom, $234. So that's how I'm going to do it. And I feel like because I am coming off a year of lack. I don't want to use the word lack. Because I am coming off a year of not working full time, and I now feel like I have a different relationship with money. I feel like my savings is going to be way more aggressive. Where is the entrance to this freeway that they promised was going to be over here? I say who? Up there? Oh yeah, it's up there. So yeah. So I feel as though, I said all that to say, I feel as though I'm going to surpass the goal that I've set for myself. Just based on how I know that from being unemployed for 9 months last year, I'm like, okay, Bookie, we got to be a more aggressive saver. Okay? Moving forward, okay. Because we just don't know what's going to happen in this life, and we have to be prepared. Better prepared, because I was prepared, but I need to be better prepared, okay? And when you know better, you do better. So, this became a lot about finances, and that's really not what this was for, but I was just giving you tangible, digestible examples, okay? Another thing is that I am a big dreamer. I have a lot of things in this here life, if God so see me to see the day. I want so many things to come to fruition, and I am a hard worker. So, for example, I've worked consistently in content, creating content for about 4 years. Consistently, like with heavy consistency, about 4.5 years. And I want that to manifest into bigger brand deals, brand trips. I want to be in a commercial or commercials. You know, I want to be flued out. I want to do all the things. But all the while serving my mission of empowering women, empowering moms to remember the woman behind the mom. See, that has always been the baseline for me, and that's why I've been able to do it for 4.5 years. For the free ski. But now, now I want it to manifest. I want it to be abundant. I want to step into the reward of what my hard work and my consistency has been. And so that's another thing that but okay, so I said all that to say, in being a big dreamer and having these very large goals for myself, I never spoke that aloud. I would have never told y'all that. Ever told y'all that. But I've broken that chain off of me. And I'm not being quiet about my goals. I know people say, like, you know, move in silence, work in silence, don't tell people your goals because they'll kill them. I don't care about that. Because I know I'm going to work in silence regardless. I know I'm going to work hard regardless of what you do, how you feel about me and what I'm doing. Irregardless. As long as it's not harming my family or myself, I care less what you think about it. So, but I stifle myself by keeping it in, you know? So I'm being loud with it. There was a trend that I saw on Threads the other day where the big creators were posting their numbers. I have X amount of Instagram followers, X amount of TikTok followers, X amount of YouTube followers. They got Pinterest, they got newsletter, email subscribers, they got YouTube, they got X, Twitter, whatever they calling it these days. And I said, and I wrote it in my notes for myself, and I said, nope, you're going to post that. You're going to put that on your Threads, because who cares? If your number don't go up another notch, who really cares besides you? Nobody cares. I can now sound like Rollo. Nobody cares, Mel. So anyway, I'm saying all this to say to y'all, for 2026, I hope that you are loud about your goals, loud about your plans. Don't move. Don't keep your goals to yourself. Share them with people you trust, your friends, your family, your loved one, your significant other. Share goals across from one another so they can keep you accountable. They can push you and they can encourage you when times get hard. That's what I have learned. Why keep it to myself and hold all that pressure inward when there's people and community that God has put here on this earth to help you with that. But they can't help you if they don't know what the goal is. Hello, somebody. So yeah, that's all I wanted to come on here and say. Happy 2026 to y'all, and I love you, mean it, and there's nothing to do about it. And I'll be back here every week. And whether I'm in the car or in the closet, I'll be somewhere on your tube. See you then.